Hi guys, it's been a while since I posted on here. This video is going to be a crochet with me, and I'll be answering some questions from Instagram that I asked a while ago. So you can go and get your yarn to crochet with me also, or you can just play this video in the background. Also, if you're wondering what I'll be making throughout the video, I'll be making a Miffy plush, and the link to the pattern I used will be in the description below. Okay, so the first question is, what is your favorite crochet project you've made? I think my favorite project so far is either my orange blossom bear or the plush pom-pom green and cinnamon roll. Okay, the next question is, what materials do I use? So I get this question asked a lot, and for my big plushy crochet projects, I usually use Bernat baby blanket yarn, but then for my smaller projects, I like to use milk cotton yarn, but I've recently started using Premier Basics worsted yarn. And for hook size, I like to use a 8mm hook for chunky yarn and a 3mm hook for milk cotton yarn. And then for the Premier Basics worsted yarn, I usually use a 4mm hook. Next is, how do I record while crocheting? So I just like to use my iPhone to record, and for YouTube, I just use a tripod and put my phone on it. But then for Instagram Reels, I just set up my phone up against something, like maybe like a water bottle or whatever, and then I just record. And also, for my Instagram photos, I also just use my phone to take them. I get this question pretty often, and it's what app I use to add the doodles on my Instagram posts. So I like to use Procreate, but if you want to add doodles to your post, then I think any drawing app should work just fine. Next is, how long have I been crocheting for? I started around late summer 2022, I think. Next question is, do I sell any of the stuff I make? Currently, no, but I am preparing for a shop opening sometime in spring to summertime when school isn't as busy for me. Next is, how to grow on Instagram. I'm not really an expert on this since I'm still learning and all that too, but I would recommend to just post as consistently as you can. Like, you don't need to post like every day to grow, because then you're probably just gonna burn yourself out eventually. So just like post when you want to as consistently as you can, and also make Instagram Reels. I think Reels personally helped me growing on Instagram, I think. Next is, any tips for felt cutting? Honestly, I would just recommend that you keep cutting until you get the shape that you want, but I do know that some people like to draw onto the felt as a reference, and I would recommend doing that if you need a little help with felt cutting. The next question is, how do you think of ideas when creating a new pattern? So I like to draw, so I'll just usually draw out an idea for a plushie after I think of what type of animal I want it to be, and then I just draw it out. But I also like to use Pinterest for some inspiration if I can't really think of anything. Next is, who are your crochet inspirations? I think my crochet inspirations are a lot of my mutuals on Instagram, like Not Michelle, Y Crochets, Amiguru Miku, Sif Studios, and a lot more, but I'm just naming a few for example. Okay, the final question is, do you have any tips for beginners? So I would recommend to watch YouTube videos on basic stitches, and put the playback speed slower if you're confused, so then you can see how to do the stitch better. And also, I recommend to really understand the basic stitches before buying or using more complicated patterns, because there are plenty of free beginner friendly patterns too, and personally, using those first helped me a lot before going into more complicated patterns. Here are some of the videos I used when I just began crocheting. And also remember that over time with practice, you will get the hang of it, so don't get discouraged if your first project doesn't look amazing, because eventually your projects will look great. So good luck to anyone who is beginning to crochet, and I hope it goes well for you. Also, for example, here's my very first crochet plushie compared to my most recent projects. I personally think I've improved a lot compared to before, and this is like 1 to 2 years of progress, so just remember to have fun with crocheting and don't get stressed about it if you don't like your first couple of projects. And this goes for anything that you do. Just remember that it takes time to improve, so don't be discouraged. That is the end of the Q&A portion of the video, and I know there's a lot of the video left, so I'm just gonna put music over it, and you can keep playing this in the background if you would like. Also, all the links to the yarn I use and the free crochet YouTube patterns will be in the description, so if you're interested in that, then it'll be there. Okay, bye! If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to see more content like this, and thank you so much for watching and have a good day or night.